come back.
Hey, everybody. It's Peter and Sel here from Strong Healthy Women, and welcome to Talking Wellbeing TV. I just said I need to stand back a little bit so you can actually see that I do have clothes on, that I'm not standing here naked. Anyway, on a side note, so interesting topic we have today for you, which is it's time to slow down. And it's time to think about whether we're getting enough sleep. And the reason that I want to talk about this is last Friday evening in our check-in with the Insiders, which is our VIP group, what they do is they rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10 in the key areas of well-being. And what we discovered was last week, every single person was struggling with sleep. And so we had a little bit of a quick little masterclass on sleep habits. And then what has happened this morning is I met up with a friend, and she has the Oura Ring. If you've not heard of those, it tracks your biometrics. So you just wear it on your ring. So rather than having to have, your watches, etc. on, and it's really drills really deeply into your sleep, whether you're getting deep sleep, whether you're getting REM sleep, how much sleep you're getting, what is your ideal time to go to bed, etc. And she gave it to me for a while to wear, because I had looked at them when they originally came out, which they were a little bit outside the price range in which I wanted to pay, so they've come down quite a bit over the years. Anyway, so I said, you better make sure that you get this thing off of me, because it was really comfortable. So, which is an interesting thing, because even though I wear the watch, I'm not really, it has to be quite loose, and I don't like tight things. So, so the ring seems to...
Can I just ask a question? Do you wear yours to bed, Peter?
No.
No,
but it actually knows when I take it off, so it knows that that's my sleep time. Yeah. And then it knows when I it knows that I'm going to bed. So it sort of like knows that that's bedtime, but it doesn't know anything else about my sleep. If I leave it on, it probably it would. And I know you leave yours on, don't you, Sel, because you like to monitor your sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us, the types of details that you check in regards to checking your sleep patterns?
So I have the Fitbit, and I know you have the Garmin. And on my Fitbit, with the sleep tracking, it tracks my when I go into my REM sleep, how many times I'm restless, how many times I'm awake during the night, what my heart rate is during the night. And the one I find, excuse me, sorry, I'm trying to talk and swallow.
Yeah.
The one I find quite interesting is the wake times, because I'm not physically getting out of bed. I don't remember being awake, but it's interesting that it measures my body as being awake.
Yeah. It's interesting that you talk about heart rate as well too, and I can't rightly remember what Yvonne was specifically saying in regards to heart rate, but by monitoring the heart rate, I think it actually works out whether, based on that heart rate, you should be going into a full exercise session or something that's a little bit more moderate. So there's some really interesting, as I said, statistics and biometrics that can actually come from those types, wearing those types of wearables that are available to us. But I thought what we'd do is just backtrack it, because what we discovered in talking to the Insiders was that a lot of them had wind down processes. They had habits that they were doing that they were no longer doing, or they were partially doing. And so it was just this gentle reminder of some of the things that you can actually do. So one of the worst things you can do is actually fall asleep in front of the TV, because you know what it's going to happen the minute you get up to go to bed. You're going to be wide awake. So when you start to feel yourself drowsy, then that's the time to get up and go to bed. Yeah. So I'm going to really come back in regards to eating food. I think that's the first place to start. So for an athlete, 2 to 3 hours after you eat, you can go to bed. Your body will have enough time to start digesting food. But for us average beings, us mere mortals, we need that 3 to 4 hour time frame. So one of the things you can do to help your digestive system is to just simply stand after you've eaten for around 20 minutes, or if you're feeling up for it, just a nice leisurely walk with the family, outside, or even around the house if you wanted to. But that is certainly going to help, which gives you better night's sleep. One of the things that actually just popped into my head that Yvonne mentioned in regards to it, she said her sleep pattern is so disturbed each time she has alcohol. Ooh. So, yeah, and look, we know this, that, when you say that alcohol, helps you sleep, it actually doesn't help you sleep. And when you see those types of things happening in your sleep patterns, when you actually have had alcohol, then you realise how much it is, taking away from your life as well too. So, and your well-being.
The alcohol, when you're having alcohol, the alcohol affects your REM, so you're not getting into that REM sleep. And the REM sleep is when you're burning the most calories and when you are rejuvenating everything, your cells, your skin, all that sort of thing. So if you're having that alcohol, and then going to bed, it's not helping at all.
Yeah, yep. The other thing is that the latest research over the last couple of years in regards to keeping a regular schedule. So it's found that, going to bed at the same time and waking at the same time or thereabouts each and every day is just as important as getting that 7 to 8 hours sleep a night. Which is a really interesting thing. Yeah.
It'd be, the sleep would be, having that same scheduled sleep pattern would be no different to our days. There are days during the week where, afternoon, evening is a little bit chaotic in my house because I might have work, I might have children going over, going to work, I'm picking them up, and so you have that little bit of chaos, and I think, oh my goodness, I just need it to calm down in a schedule. So I imagine sleep would be the same. You want to keep that sleep pattern, that going to bed, waking up.
And look, and for many of us, we've had kids, or we're around grandkids now, and we know the importance of that. Okay, it's bedtime routine. So we're no different. We're still exactly the same little beings that we used to be when, mum and dad would say to us, okay, it's time to go to bed. We just needed more sleep then, but we don't have mum and dad in the house with us anymore saying, okay, Sally Ann, it's time to go to bed now. So, we do need to get up and go to bed. And if you think back, then that's the next part of it as well too. We had these routines. Our parents, we would have a bath, so, and generally our bath or our shower was, around that 5:36 mark. Was that what it was like for you, Sal?
Yeah, yes, 5:30.
Yeah,
5:36, and then 6:30 was dinner.
Yeah. So if you were to look at the circadian rhythm, which is, your body clock time, one of the ideal times to actually have a shower, have a bath, and get ready for the evening is around that 5:30 mark. That is when your body temperature is at its highest. And so what you want to do is bring it back down. So you're actually telling your body that, it is now time to get ready to go to sleep. And of course, that circadian rhythm is affected. It's basically the light and the dark. So if we're going into a darker room or a lighter room, that will also have some impact on the sleep that we're having too.
Yes.
So Yeah. Do you have anything you want to jump in there with?
I was just thinking about my little nephew Lincoln and like his routine, you know, and it's so true.
Yeah.
It's, you know, his routine. He is only 7 months old, but the routine he has is
Mm.
it's in a bath, and then he's sleeping time, and he's tired, and he's ready for bed.
Yeah. And
So
generally
yeah,
there'll probably be a book in there. So there's that little wind down process.
yeah,
And really, if you think back to your childhood, you don't really have, like for most of us, we don't really have a care in the world. It just depends on where we live and what things we have in our life as well too. But for most of us, we feel fairly safe,
yeah,
and so we can, duck off to bed quite easily and feel like nothing is going to hurt us because we know
yeah,
that our parents are there and they're keeping us safe as well too. So
yeah,
yeah, books are a really good idea. So that wind down process of finding something that works for you. So if you were an avid book reader as a child, then you probably find that books are something that you would naturally gravitate to now as part of your wind down. So just finding yourself a lovely comfy chair in your room, with a nice lamp around it and just sitting reading will help you get to sleep a lot better as well too. I think one of the biggest things though is our minds racing when we have a lot of thoughts going on. And so doing that big brain dump and actually writing down exactly what's going on in our life is really important. That's where the journals are so good.
so
And
good,
it
yeah,
doesn't matter whether it's you ranting and raving in your journal. It is just exactly what you need. It's to be able to get that out. I generally write things, but then I'm starting to think about things that I've got to remember to do the next day. So I have this little system in my journal, these little asterisks, because then the next day the next morning I grab that journal and anything that's been asterisked is then, written onto my to-do list for the following day. So, or I check if I have written it down. I may or may not have already done it. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Journaling's so
Are you,
important.
yeah, and you brain dump? Do you do
Yeah,
a brain dump?
yes,
Yeah?
yes. I might be raging on the page, as Gabby Bernstein says, or it
Yeah,
might
rage
just
on the
be
page.
rage on the page. I love that. Or it might just be different things that are popping into my head.
Yeah, yep.
You just like
And
you
what about,
physically feel. Sorry, Peter. You physically feel
no,
better
that's okay.
afterwards. You physically
Oh, you
feel
do?
better afterward. It's amazing. Yeah.
Mm. I know that for you and I, we both talked about that when we did Gabby's, I think it was her 21-day meditation challenge, whenever that
Yeah.
was last year or the year before,
No, it was
all
this
the
year.
years. It was this year. There you go. See, who knows? That's what I said. They all blend into one another. So this year it was. Um,
Yes.
and she had 2 rages on the pages scheduled, and we both at the time said, I don't know that I want to go down that track in regards to all that negativity. And then she actually had done a blog post on it. And so when, I shared that blog post with you, it was like, okay, this makes sense as to why we're actually getting all that stuff out on the page. You're just
Yeah.
basically letting it go as well too.
Yeah.
I think the other important thing is in regards to electronics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
mind.
if you've got a TV in your room, it's probably not ideal unless you're, going to go to your blue screen filters and things like that. So, because you don't want those waves in your room. The other thing is even just having, if you're going to have a TV in there, you might actually put a plant in there because a plant could be very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
you do have a TV in your room, you could then take it that step further. And, most smart TVs these days, you have access to YouTube and all those sort of things, or you can plug your phone into your TV and
Yeah.
have your Delta waves going through your TV.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The other thing is that we should probably explain what delta waves are. Do you want to take over that?
Yes. I think we spoke about
Can
delta
you hear
waves
that?
last week. I can. Have you got the planes going over?
No, no, no. That's two cars full of grandchildren driving in,
Coming for the
which sound
pool.
like planes taking off. Yeah, I'm not sure whether they're coming to the pool or not, but I do have the door closed behind me, so they probably are not going to come in. They know the sign.
They know the
So
rules.
anyway,
Yeah.
they know the
Anyway,
rules. Yeah.
so delta waves, and this is something that you got me onto about 2 years ago, and it's
Yeah.
just meditation music or delta waves, sleep waves, whatever you want to call it. And I put it on at night when I go to bed. I have it near me. I was having it under my pillow till it was pointed out that that's probably not a safe thing to do.
Yeah, that was the last time we were talking. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so relaxing. And all I do, I'm a big believer in breathing, inhales and
Yes.
exhales.
Deep breathing. Yeah.
Yes. So I've just put my sleep music on and inhale and exhale. And that just puts me to sleep. But I will say this, Olivia, last week, the week before, has been having nightmares and waking her
Right.
up. And so I'll wake up in the middle of the night and the toilet light might be on or her bedroom light might be on. So she's been having nightmares. So I suggested to her sleep waves and delta waves. And she's been putting it
Yeah.
on every night and has been having wonderful night's sleep. No nightmares.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walk past her
Yeah.
bedroom and I can hear the music going and she's sound asleep. And so it's really, has a huge powerful effect on you.
Yeah, and I know that, when these days with babies and everything, they use a lot of white noise, which is very, very similar as well too. So it's just a matter of finding what sort of like works for you. So having that wind down process, if you find you're very stressed as well too, I love the inhale and exhale, and then actually like tensing up your whole body as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you just give it that big release and do that as many times. And you'll actually really, really find your body relaxes as well too. So there's a lot of different steps that you can go through as well too, like keeping your room cool, having nice fresh linen on your bed is ideal as well too. Keeping the room, as I mentioned earlier, dark instead of light is really helpful. The other thing is during the day, getting some sunshine, that can be particularly good. Yeah,
Yes.
so actually getting some sunshine as well too.
And
Do you have anything else that you want to add?
Open the windows at night. Let some of that fresh air in. So if you are a huge aircon person, maybe open the windows for a little while and just let some fresh air through your window. I have my windows open 365 days a year because I just love having those breezes come in.
Yeah, even in winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Me too. Yeah, that fresh air just makes you feel more invigorated, I think, and just more at ease. So yeah. So ladies, look, there is a lot that you can go through in order to get a better night's sleep. But the first recommendation that we would make is to create some type of wind down process, and maybe take one or multiple of the tips that we've given you today, put them together. But one of the most important things is to get those thoughts out of your head so that it's not actually distracting you and keeping you awake at night as well too.
Yes.
Any final notes from you, Sal?
Just once again, ladies, if you're wondering if you're new to all this and you're wondering where you would find delta waves or sleep music, anything like that, just Google your YouTube, if you have a music app, a lot of them have different soundtracks on there as well that you can download and listen to.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So, ladies, hopefully that's given you some ideas as far as getting a better night's sleep. We really want you at this time of year to start to slow yourself down a little bit, because we are heading into that silly holiday season, Christmas season. And what can happen is that there'll be a lot of chaos out there, which we have been talking about over the last couple of weeks. But we really want you to take some time for yourself to chill out a little bit. And so in our free group, Women Over 50 Get Active and Healthy, we're doing the 12 days of Christmas, not at the end like the traditional 12 days of Christmas. We're doing it before the lead up, so it's coming into Christmas. So we're starting on the 13th of December, and we're going through to the 24th of December, and it is 12 minutes. 12 days. So it is 12 minutes of me time. So you can have a little bit of music playing, but there's nothing else other than that. So it's just you sitting and looking at your environment, and just spending some time with your thoughts, and, you know, taking some deep breaths, and just really, really connecting with yourself and giving yourself the opportunity to slow and calm down. You may find that a little bit distracting at first if you're not someone who's used to sitting in stillness. So work through the process, because you will definitely get better at it as well too.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for joining me, Sal.
Thank you for having me, as always, Peter. Thank you for joining us, ladies.
Yeah, thanks, Sal. And we'll see you all soon, ladies. We'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Going up, girls. You got us forever.
It's just looping the close down right now. Oops, it's having trouble, so we shall try again. We're not meant to get off your screen.
Elevator music.